All right, guys, my name is Rachel Delk. I'm with Rachel's Book Nook. You can find me at rachelsbooknook.com, also on Facebook and on YouTube. And today we are talking about graphic novels. Now, depending on who you are, you may not think very highly about graphic novels. I know that was a trend when they were gaining in popularity, but honestly, all reading matters. It doesn't really matter if your kiddo is watching or reading storybooks or books that are below where they are comfortably reading. It doesn't really matter if they are looking at really little kid books and they're an older kid. All reading matters. All reading kind of engages your brain in a similar way, and especially graphic novels or books that are heavy in images engage your brain in another way, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So I'm going to be sharing with you 3 of PaperPie's graphic novels and also a bonus book. But we have a couple of different ones, and I'm going to start with this one. This one is 24 Hours in Space. There's also 24 Hours, I think, in Antarctica, in the jungle, in the zoo, and these are nonfiction, and these are really interesting books. If you have a kiddo who is interested in space or in the zoo or anything, it kind of goes like timeline of what you might experience 24 hours in space. And like I said, I say it's nonfiction. It's not exactly, but there is a lot of nonfiction. I mean, I guess it technically would be because it's talking about all sorts of factual things, and it is less of a narrative. But what's really cool about this is like it is a full 24 hours, and so it talks about like how fast the sun is going around the Earth, like how many days they're in space over a 24-hour period. And so this one is really fun and interesting. There's a lot of information, really good for factual type kids. And then we also have this one. This Book Will Self-Destruct. We have a new one coming out of this, like the second in the series. You can read both of them in any order. This one also comes with a poster in the back. This one is really fun because it's kind of like counting down. You gotta like finish the book, solve the riddle before it explodes. So it's kind of really fun. Lots of suspense and anticipation, which is really good for kiddos too, to kind of having that engagement in these books. And that's another thing that graphic novels are really good at, is they're really engaging. Here's the poster in the back. And so like if you have a kid, if you have a kiddo who's maybe not super into reading, or maybe they just haven't found the right genre, the right books for them that they really like, look at graphic novels, because some of them are nonfiction. Some of them have very deep stories, like this one that we're going to talk about, Tricky Kind of Magic. This one is about a kid who just lost his dad, and he's dealing with grief and loss and feeling abandoned, and he's got a younger brother who his mom is having to give a lot of attention to, which I get. And then sometimes like he feels like his mom doesn't even notice the loss because she's coping in ways too. And so this one is a deep story. And so it talks about his friends that he kind of tries to push away, and all sorts of really great themes of like loss and dealing with big, hard things. And so I actually really love this one for a lot of different reasons. This one is mostly black and white, kind of a grayscale. You can learn real life magic tricks in this one. And it just kind of has really good themes of love and like family and things like that. But when you are also looking at images rather than words, like when you are looking at a page full of words, your brain is working to create those images in your head, and that is a very important skill that kids, it's kind of like a milestone once kids start doing that. Like it's like that movie that's playing in your head while you're reading a book. That's a very important skill. But what is also a really important skill is being able to read images. So like this one does not have like all the panels like some of the pages do, but you are reading how they're going across. And Rory is chasing oh man, I can't remember the boy's name right now? Cooper. Okay. So Rory is chasing Cooper in this, but Cooper's not really wanting to be found at this point, and he's really excited. And so he's like running across the page, but they're still talking. And so to be able to read a page like that takes a different kind of skill. This page is really fun. Is this the end? Maybe we just fill the rest of the book with blank pages. But to be able to read across and to know that the different kinds of bubbles mean different kinds of things. I'm trying to find a good page to show you guys. But like this one where you're reading his emotions and without it being stated and seeing like what he's feeling and what happens next and how it goes and what's really happening and what is just like a feeling to him. That is also a skill too, that when kids learn that, when kids can read images, it transfers across to being able to read body language, being able to read people, being able to read situations, being able to read a room, being able to look at art and know like what it's shooting for, like what is portraying, things like that. And these are skills that graphic novels can teach better than like a novel without pictures. And so I like to say that all reading counts. To be able to read images is a different skill than being able to read words, and both are very useful in this era of disconnection. And so one of the other ones that I wanted to show you is The Extraordinary Life of. This is the Amelia Earhart. This is actually a biography series, and when people ask me about graphic novels, one, I'm really excited because we are coming out with some more soon in the fall. Some new titles are going to be graphic novel style. But also when I'm talking to them about why they're looking for graphic novels, this series also kind of hits the nail on the head. This is a biography series, but you'll notice that the pages are in color and the font is different. So this is meant to be read a little bit easier than a book without pictures. There are a few, but not a ton of pictures. The color is supposed to be easy on the eye, so this is really good for kids who have ADHD or dyslexia or any other kinds of reading difficulties. So check out this series too, as well as our really awesome graphic novels. Now we also have several that are not true graphic novel style, but really have full color images, and so you also get good practice in reading images as well. So this one is our Adventure series. Again, not a true graphic novel, but another really great one for kiddos who are kind of bridging that gap between picture storybooks and more chapter books. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you learned something. And remember, all reading counts, whether it's a graphic novel, a classic tale, whatever it is. I just want you to encourage you and your kiddos to keep reading.